And a lot of pharmacology is being lost because rural and feral cryptids know about this stuff. Urban cryptids don't. And as the feral cryptids vanish, and as the rural cryptids are becoming urban cryptids,
it has often been said, mostly by those who have little stake in this game, that when one has a hammer, everyone's teeth look like nails.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Holy smokes. It is cold and gray outside, probably going to be raining. It was raining last night. Thumbs up for that. And that spider is still up in the window. She had torn down her web, as spiders do, and built a new one this morning. So even though I am torn on this, I spattered her web with water so she'd have water to drink. But if she was outside, the cold weather would have done her in anyway. And there's no more real bugs to fly around. It's actually turning into autumn now. So she's gonna just starve. So I don't know. She's up there in the window and I feel glad about it, but we shall see what happens. And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, even for the algorithm, that would be double plus good. And of course, I want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people who help to keep me alive. Literally, with the cost of everything going up, and my rent and food, and it's going to get worse with the cost of diesel going up. Oh boy, it's without these people, I and my pets would be hosed like literal Christmas monkeys, and that is not a good way to be hosed. So if you could become a patron, that'd be very awesome. There are links in the video description, as well as a PayPal for donations, an Amazon wishlist link with pet food on it. There's also a post office box. You can send me anything you like. I'll open it up on camera. Yay! If anyone ever sends me anything. Thumbs up for that. Front loading a video is over. Little Ghost is still here. He has trouble breathing. If he gets too excited, it's very, very difficult. When he's sleeping, like right now, he breathes through his mouth. But he still burrows, he still digs, he still chews on stuff. He does hamster stuff. It's just slower because he doesn't get as much air. So he's still hanging in there, and as long as he's not suffering, and he doesn't appear to be other than low air, but he still drinks tons and eats a lot and does hamster stuff. So thumbs up for that. Yay. He's a good little guy, and I just don't want him to suffer. Past that, taking a look on my list, I have just been living. Yesterday, of course, I had some sleeping issues, and then I took a shower, which I had to get things done early for that, and I had planned on taking a shower at 4 o'clock. Then it takes 2 hours, so get done at 6, wait until 7 when my hair is dry and I've had a chance to relax, and then go for my 6-mile walkies, and then come back. Of course, at 3:30, one of my housemates takes a shower. So that's using up hot water. So I wait until 4:30 to go down and take a shower, because with everything timed out with however long it takes me to take a shower, I need to get it done early. So of course at 4:30 I go down and they're running the dishwasher, which of course uses the hot water. Had to take a shower though, so I just kept the water as little and as cool as possible to make it last as long as I could. Thumbs up for that. I got everything trimmed down again and bathed in chemicals. So thumbs up for that. Yay! It's a-okay though. So thumbs up on that. Taking more of a look on my list here. Also, one of the things, and this is obscure, you'd have to have watched my 4 Against Darkness videos. I have conceptual problems with a lot of math. I almost failed high school because you had to pass a basic algebra class. I failed it the first time. Had to take it again. Barely passed it. I do not have a math brain. In elementary school, I remember when we had to take math and tests, I would count up the number of division problems there were, figure out how many test problems I could fail and still pass the test, and then just skip all those division problems. I have problems with division. In 4 Against Darkness, what you're supposed to do is take the monster's level, have your attack roll, divide the attack roll by the level of the monsters, and then the amount that you get minus the remainder is how many 1 hit point monsters you have killed. Ow! I have problems with any kind of division. It does not come naturally. So I've been checking the math out on my own, and the way I did it in the video, even though conceptually I don't show it well, works. I mean, if you have 4 level 2 monsters and you do 9 points of damage, you're supposed to divide 9 by 2, subtract the remainder, and that's how many monsters you've killed. That would be 4 of them. So if it's 4 2-level monsters, you've killed them all. The way I do it is each 1 hit point monster gets 1 hit point per level. And then I did a 9, so subtract 4 off that one, it's dead. Subtract 4 off the next one, it's dead. And then, well, not 4, 2 off the first one, it's dead. 2 off the next one, it's dead. 2 off the next one, it's dead. 2 off the next one, it's dead. There's a remainder which does not kill anything. Remainders just are 0, and that works for me. Just giving them 1 hit point per level and then counting them as having more hit points and subtracting the damage that way. Conceptually, the division part blows my mind and I can't do it, but this one, where I just give them 1 hit point per level, works. So thumbs up for that. So, yay. It's just a conceptual issue and I wanted to talk about that. Thumbs up. Past that, I have just been surviving, and that is a good thing. Being horrified by the news, of course. I mean, everything is terrible. But that's the way it is. I mean, things are going to be bad in the United States. Things are not good, have not been good in the United States for a long time. Things are going to get a whole lot better. Or better, a whole lot worse if the GOP gets in charge of both the House and the Senate, because they've already said that they want to get rid of things like Medicare and Social Security, which means if they do so, I will die, because the money that I put into Social Security and disability will be taken away from me and I will become homeless. So then that will happen to everybody who requires Social Security. And don't say they wouldn't do that, because back in the 80s, when the Reagan administration first came in, one of the first things they did was shut down all of the federal places where people were patients because of mental issues. And what they did was just shut them down and then put the people out on the streets. And then some of the people that worked in these places had to just watch as people screamed outside of the buildings begging to come back in until they just generally died or were murdered, all of them. So, the United States is great that way, and so I'm not looking forward to the future. Thumbs up for that. So I'm going to talk about other things that are just as horrific, but at least they have the benefit of being fictional. And once again, that is my Inside, Outside, Razor's Edge, and Cryptid stuff. I had forgotten, and in comments, 4 of you had mentioned that they were working on a thing for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. I have tried for, my wife was still alive, and mobile. I have been trying to do things for that, but never understood why I couldn't. Well, ADHD and stuff, so thumbs up. So I wish I'd remembered. I could have tried to push through. I mean, it's not been far. I'm only a little behind if I try. So who knows? Maybe I'll be able to get past my ADHD. And even if I don't do a full NaNoWriMo, writing anything at all is good. Hopefully I can get some of the cryptid stuff done. And of course, speaking of the cryptid things, I want to take a look at all this weird stuff that I've got written down on my list. Parts of this I've talked about somewhat before, and so I'm just going over again with extra contextualization. Some of it is new because it is trying to be a living and breathing setting. I am trying to make it a living and breathing setting so that things actually change when you bring in new information, because there's ripples outward. It alters things. One of the things that I have been mentioning without really mentioning is how the cryptids have lived as basically animals for hundreds of thousands of years. It's only been in the past 200 years that they've really started migrating towards cities and becoming urban cryptids. Just because they're urban cryptids doesn't mean they live in, normal, great, like housing. They're still largely living like animals, barely better than animals in most cases. When I say, when Jimmy goes to pick Polly up so they can go out and do stuff, it's not like he's driving over to a house that she lives in. Her parents, Polly, Clausy, and Alan, they just live anywhere around the city. They don't have any possessions. They don't own anything aside from themselves, and they generally just sleep wherever they happen to be in controlled areas. Now, when I talk about controlled areas and kingdoms, basically a kingdom in the Brookerton area where all the cryptids live is just like neighborhood gangs, but the gangs are kingdoms, and the warlords are all beholden to King Mike. So they are in allegiance with a particular gang / kingdom, and wherever they are within there, they just feel safe enough to bed down wherever they are, whether it's just next to a rock or under a bush or whatever. That's just where they sleep. And when they just eat whatever happens to be around, they just, if you're around the mall, you just go into a mall and start eating the food there. You just drink whatever you drink, you do whatever you want, and then you fall asleep wherever you are. That's what they do. They just wander around town living. And occasionally Polly, who does the exact same thing, just because she likes her parents and they like her, she'll hang around with them for a while. And they just wander around and do stuff. They don't have structured lives as we do. And so, they don't really own anything. Clausy and Alan's generation, they will wear clothing, but largely they will occasionally wear clothing just because they like the colors or they like the patterns. Since cryptids don't need to wear clothing to protect themselves from the weather, they are comfortable in any weather from -40 to 110. They just don't even notice the weather. You can say, "Aren't you cold?" And they go, "Oh yeah, it is a little chilly, isn't it?" And then just keep on doing what they're doing. They don't need clothing for protection from the weather, and there are very, very few things in the world that can actually harm them, so they don't need clothing for protection. So Alan and Clausy, if they do like stuff, because they'll wear Christmas stuff, they like the colors, they like the patterns, they like to wear the stuff, go down to the mall and just sit on benches and listen to the music and watch the people. But it's like, Alan might be wearing a hat, mittens, maybe an open sweater and boots. And Clausy will have a scarf and boots and maybe some gloves because they like the patterns, and that's it. And then they'll just basically wear it until it falls off. Now Polly, she has costumes, just as Jimmy, her boyfriend, has costumes. Their generation, because they mix with humans and have actual human friends, though they don't respect them as actual people, it's just something to be entertained with, they wear costumes, which Polly, she'll wear, whether she depends on, is the emo or goth or punk. It's, a good emo, goth, or punk outfit. She keeps her hair dyed black. She puts on her makeup. She wears her clothing. And then that's when they go out and they do stuff. But past that, they don't bother. They just live. It's only if they're going to go out on the town that Jimmy will dress up in his jeans and t-shirt, leather jacket, and drive on his motorcycle and pick her up wherever she happens to be, where she's in her costume. And they'll go out and do something that they find entertaining. But past that, they don't bother. So because they don't have houses, people like Clausy and Alan, they don't really have stuff. And the few things they do, Like they'll just dump it like the base of a tree, mark it with their mark so that people know it's claimed, and then just leave it. Individuals like Polly, because her costume, it has to be kept. Their generation tends to keep stuff in actual waterproof suitcases. And then, because 99 point something percent of individuals that live in Brookerton and around the world cannot perceive or interact with cryptids in the slightest, they just store their stuff in a room in a house. And when she wants to get ready to go out, she does her makeup and puts on her costuming just in the house's bathroom using the mirror. The people that live there can't perceive her. She doesn't harm them, she just keeps her junk there and uses their mirrors. So that's how her generation deals with stuff. Thumbs up for that. Then, of course, I have also talked about there's all of the various products that they use to break people down into snacks and such. One of them, since cryptids do like to drink alcohol, they do like to relax, and they do roughly the same things we do for fun if they contextualize and conceptualize doing that. When they hang out at like Khmer Rouge Manor, there's a bar, they drink. Some of them do conceptualize like that and hang around with each other. But their livers being such, they have to drink like a full bottle of a fifth of some 40 proof liquor to feel what we feel drinking a shot of 40 proof liquor. Except there is a product where you take human cerebral spinal fluid, you mix it with a very high alcohol product. There is a cryptid plant that a rural cryptid knew about. And a lot of pharmacology is being lost because rural and feral cryptids know about this stuff. Urban cryptids don't. And as the feral cryptids vanish, and as the rural cryptids are becoming urban cryptids, all of this pharmacological knowledge with cryptid plants and stuff is being lost. But you take this one plant, mix it with this combination, make it aged, and oh, hokey smokes. One shot of this 200 proof combination of cerebrospinal fluid and basically 100% pure grain alcohol, and one shot of that hits a cryptid like one shot of 200 proof grain alcohol. It hits them hard, just like it would us. So there's three types. There's the good stuff: silver, gold, and platinum. Gold has no flavorings to it. It's just the pure cerebrospinal fluid with the harsh alcohol. But a lot of cryptids prefer that because it's just the pure cerebrospinal fluid flavor. But they use extra herbs and flavorings for the gold and the platinum, the good stuff. Oh, excuse me. And of course, it is more expensive because there's less cerebrospinal fluid in a human being than there is blood. So it takes a lot more harvested humans to make enough cerebrospinal fluid to get into a bottle of liquor. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounced your username, don't disrespect as intended. And even though I can't American Sign Language, well. We have Tommy Copeland, thumbs up, thank you, and good to see you in the comments. Flora Mew, thank you very, very much, greatly appreciated, and best of luck on your project. We have Confused Owl 29. Deserts can be fun, but I like mountains. I just do not feel good unless there's mountains on the horizon. We have Cake, thumbs up, thank you. And actually, I did mean to address the question that you have. I'm going to have to come back to that because most of them are very health conscious. Without meaning to be, it's just a genetic imperative. There's Chris, thumbs up, thank you, greatly appreciated. Conspo Lopez, who has been playing the game Tangled Deep of late. I have that game. I like roguelikes a lot, though that game does confuse me, and I'm not sure why. We have Ben B, thumbs up, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day too. And then we have RJ Mitchell, not Mitchell. I can speak English today. RJ Mitchell, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And good to see you in the comments. Jesse Koskinen, I had a definite Halloween. And good to see you in the comments. I'm sorry you're so busy that I see you so little anymore. But it is good to see you. And Jacob Baker with a very good idea. I have been thinking, Barker, not Baker. Jacob Barker, who has a very good idea, and I have been thinking about that. And that is it. 10 people in the last 24 hours left me comments to get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you. Just appreciate it. Well, hokey smokes, I got therapy today, and I am generally not worth a whole lot after that for the rest of the day while I let things settle. So I have to do some editing. I need to go up to the library, get some printing done. So thumbs up on that. Hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done. That would be a good thing. But if you can't, survival is important. Survival mode if you have to. And of course, with all the diseases out there, and there's going to be a triple whammy this winter in the United States with the flu, with the covfefe bug, and something called like RSV, which is very bad. And they're all three surging right now, so it's going to be a great triple-demic here in the USA. And of course, if you hear that mournful howl of the bus horn, you know the bus with your name on it is out there hunting for you. Yeah, you're going to get smeared on the landscape, but do your best to survive. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.